Question for the fellas, and be honest. Would you marry a woman who is a perfect 10 to you, who is like amazing, like magical? She's not like anyone you've ever met before. She's literally, if you could build a woman to be with, this is her. Would you marry her if you met her and she told you up front that from her previous life she had a really high body count, but she's completely clean? She has never met anybody that you know. She never did anything that's online, and none of your friends or family would ever find out. Would you date her and marry her despite having a really high body count? If she's honest about it and no one else would ever know. We say body count is a thing, right? So is it enough of a deal breaker that you would not stay with your dream woman because of it? You tell me.
Okay, so shout out to this woman for this question, but I do not like this question. I don't like this question at all because she's saying your perfect woman, perfect dream woman, calling her is supposed to be a perfect 10, but she got a really high body count. Well, that kind of disqualifies her from being my dream woman. She's saying like super high body count and trying to add all of these stipulations in where, okay, my family and friends ain't gonna find out. I don't know anybody that she's been with, which I don't know, from the lenses of like my perspective of life, where I'm at in life, I'm gonna come across somebody that she's been with, or somebody that she's been with is gonna be out there. Not to say that that's gonna make me feel any type of way. Most girls have been with somebody else nowadays. You're not just gonna find your unicorn virgin out there in the wild nowadays. It's possible, definitely possible, but very hard to find. But she's saying a woman with a super high body count, but she's clean and all this stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna come across one of these guys sooner or later. So it's just a very, like, it's a hypothetical question, but it's one that's just the situation is just so unlikely that you're gonna find your perfect dream woman, but she has a high body count. A lot of the reason why we see so much mental illness in women nowadays, we see the moodiness, we see the masculine traits in these women nowadays, is because they have high body counts. They've interacted with so many men. They've been jaded by so many men. You're not gonna find, I don't know, maybe she's out there, but I don't think you're going to find a woman with a high body count and really good mental health. And that's part of my dream woman, is a woman that I don't need to fix, right? I don't need to fix her. She comes to me already healed. She got the wife traits. She got the motherly traits, all that good stuff. Now, if this hypothetical unicorn was out there and she did have a bit of a body count, I think that's okay. Most guys are going to accept that. But like, the super high body count is where you got to draw the line, because now this is a whore that's trying to change your life. And we see where that kind of leads to. We've seen women as recently as Brittany Renner been through a bunch of different guys. Then, okay, I'm gonna try to be this perfect woman. I'm gonna be religious. I'm gonna do all these things. And she quickly backed out of that, right? She quickly backed out of it. She quickly went against that. We don't know the backstory between her and Kevin Gates. He's kind of a weird dude himself. So that's their situation, right? But we see it a lot. We see like the super whore that tries to turn to the religious woman, and some of them can hold frame for a long time, maybe even for life. But more often than not, those old traits and tendencies, it's still in their mind, and sometimes they end up slipping back into their old ways. So me personally, I wouldn't trust it. I'm sure there are plenty of guys that would accept this scenario. I just can't. It's just so unrealistic that I just can't say that I would accept that type of woman, because at the end of the day, my perfect 10, my dream woman isn't a woman that has been touched by all these different men, right? Has experienced all these different men. All these different men did her crazy in the bedroom, every single position, flipping her over, using her as a rag, right? So I just couldn't do it. A lot of women probably would say that's a insecurity thing. Me, I would argue against it and say, like, nah, I'm just more so secure in myself and know what I want. I know my standards, and if a woman don't meet it, she don't meet it. Like, it's as simple as that. You can have all the attributes, but if you don't have, like, I feel like low body count, little to no body count is probably one of the best attributes you're going to get from a woman, simply because I do see a correlation a lot of the times with women with bad mental health and the amount of sexual partners they've had in life. Let me know if you guys have seen that before as well. I always like to say, when we see all these women doing crazy stuff to men, it's never the virgins, right? It's never the virgins getting diagnosed with like bipolar disorder and all this different stuff. It's usually the ones that have had multiple partners throughout their life, and that would be the deal breaker for me, because if she's had, I think what they said, 100 bodies, body count is 100 people, 100 people, men or women, that's too much. That's too much. There's too many miles on that thing. I don't know. Like, you can have the car can be perfect from the outside. It can be it could be your dream car from the outside. But if it got 200,000 miles on it and bad maintenance and all this different stuff, it's not going to last you very long. And I think that's a great way to put it. Let me know what you guys think about this question. Would you guys accept this? Or do you kind of feel like me that it's just not going to happen? It's just not going to happen. Let me know down below in the comments. Ladies, you chime in too on what y'all think about this. As always, love y'all. I'm out.